Hello and welcome to episode 118. Fun fact, 118 is the number you call if you need to look up a phone number in Denmark. Or, in these days of not calling anyone, it's what you type into your browser and you can search for people that way. Now, is there anything to talk about this week? Should we go with the obvious one? I'm wearing a finished Charlie Caftan. Ta-da! Now, obviously this is a bit hard for you to see. I put it in my pocket. It has pockets. It has deep pockets. Let's see. It's a bit wider. So, as you can see, it tightens around here because there are ties that go around the back. They are very geniusly concealed or fastened to this little bodice piece here, which conceals the gatherings. And I wish I could tell you what the fabric is. It is from Meter because it's where I purchase my fabrics. I am boring and predictable that way. Predictable. And the Charlie Caftan is this. So what I've basically done is taken this, which is version C, and chopped it off at the knee. That's not really what I've done. I'd say again, view B here, added ties, and I've lengthened it 10 centimeters. Now I'm short, and lengthening it 10 centimeters means that it now hits me just below the knee. So I think it's a great length. It's the length I prefer. I know someone else on Instagram recently finished this. And she also lengthened her Charlie by 10 centimeters. Doesn't even reach her knee. I am a short ass. I don't think I've ever hidden that fact. Now, of the success of this, I have traced off the front for this version A, which I've also lengthened because otherwise it would hit me, well, like the model here. And it's the same length that the BUB uses. So the only new part I had to trace was the front and also the bodice piece here, but I already traced that because might as well have. So yeah. And I have found my fabric. It's on the table right now. I can see it from here. And I've laid out the back piece. And yes, Charlotte, I have checked that it's the right side up because when I was stitching on the back side of this panel, it has an identical panel inside to hide all the seams. Or seam allowances. I realized that this has birds on it. When I first cut out the fabric pieces, I was looking at it going, there's no obvious direction to it. All the flowers go in 500 different directions. And then there are the jerk birds. For days I was convinced that my back piece was upside down because there are birds on this and I can't actually show you any. Trust me when I say there are birds, and there are two birds that are the same way up, right close to each other. I was like, oh god, I cut the back upside down because I only bought 2.25 meters of fabric. That's what the envelope tells you to. The inside tells you to buy 2.3 meters. That's neither here nor there. That would have saved me and meant that I wouldn't have put it upside one of the body pieces well, not wrong way around, but opposite way, because I purchased the original amount of fabric and lengthened it using up 20 centimeters extra than what I purchased for. Luckily, that's not a problem in my case, because I just eked out everything from the 2.25 meter fabric. So there was not really a lot of waste. What the waste that was were long thin strips that you couldn't have used for anything, so yay for that. But I went around thinking, the back is upside down. Luckily it was the back. But even so, if you're studying me close enough that you notice the birds, which are tiny and grey, on a greyish-blue background. Anyway. Turns out, and I only discovered this the other day when I had already finished it and it was hanging here, saving it for this special occasion, that actually the birds are jerks. There are, in this random pattern repeat, which I'm not really totally sure of what is, how big it is, how much is repeated. There are two birds that are one way up, one bird that's on its side, and one that's on upside down. So really, those jerk birds, and now the title has to be jerk birds. I wonder how many jerky enthusiasts that'll bring in. Anyway, those jerk birds pretend that there's a direction. There's no direction. It's just random. Now, the other fabric that I am using for my second version, there is a direction. It is flowers again. I'm not really a big fan of flowers, but there are some really nice prints with flowers on them. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. And they do have a direction, so I have checked that. I am putting my pieces on in the right direction. With that, I don't have the issue of whether I'll have enough fabric. It is only 114-ish centimeters wide, but I have like 3 or 4 meters of it. So, and as we've already established, I'm a short horse, so this in total is probably 100 centimeters maybe, around that. So yeah, but that's not my only sewing, and I know I usually do sewing last, but let's talk about the elephant in the room, right? So you might remember this. This is the Anna blouse. Again, the fabric is a lovely viscose from Meter, and it's silky smooth and has this fabulous slight texture, play with the and it just feels good on the body. Viscose feels good on the body. It's cool to the touch, it's flowy and nice to wear. It's horrible to cut out. I had a million pins for this. Didn't do as much for this because it's very basic shapes, but I should have. But this is the Anna blouse, and I've had it for a bit. It was just laying around in its unfinished stage. I had put together the sleeves, not the band down below, but you know, the seam of the sleeves, and I just didn't feel like putting in the sleeve because, as you may remember, the Anna blouse is this same one I did out of that Swiss dot, white Swiss dot fabric that started out having ears where the shoulders were. This does not have ears. It is, I don't know, can we put it on top? It's a different shape than the kimono-like sleeves on kimono style sleeves on the Caftan. But yes, we can. So, this will only look fairly odd. Yeah. As you can see, the sleeve head here is gathered, and in the other fabric I had used the actual sleeve head of the sleeve. This comes in a short sleeve and a long sleeve version, and then I've used the actual pattern. Well, that produced, because it was fairly tall, that produced a lot of excess fabric here that just sort of stood up. As you can see, that's not the case now. And part of that is that I modified the sleeve head, which basically meant that I retraced it, cutting off a large chunk of the of length, basically. I will say that I did make the sleeves bigger than the original, because the sleeves in the original would not have fit me at all. And when you do this slightly loose thing for the silhouette, it seems slightly odd to use a really tight sleeve. So I basically redid the sleeve. It is a fairly easy pattern to follow. It's not a genius pattern, it's not a bad pattern. It just has odd proportions, so beware of that if you decide to do it yourself. And yes, the neckline is gaping a bit. I don't care. It isn't revealing, so that's all there is to really say about that. But the fabric is lovely, and it has a nice long length, so yeah, put on a pair of jeans, off you go. So, and now I'm wearing two pieces. Anyway, lots of sewing, as you can tell. Medium amount of knitting. Still doing stash, still working on the same two things, but I have had a bit of progress. Let's start with the Sunday Tea, which is a pattern by Petite Knit, and it is a top-down yoke. Where am I? I am here. This is my third skein and it's getting smaller. And I've finished the yoke. It's only the yoke that is ripped, the rest is just stockinette, as you can tell. And I have separated for the sleeves and the body, so it is quicker now going around. It is still on 3mm needles, so quick is relative. But last week when I showed you this, I was up here, and now I've separated for the sleeves and body, as I said, and I've knit a bit on the body. Now it's just stockinette and around, going down. There's no shaping, there's nothing. It is a slightly oversized thing, top. It has shortish sleeves, 3/4 length-ish sleeves, you know, for us sleeve phobics. Not a whole lot to say. Stockinette on 3mm needles. It's not fun. It's just something that needs a good movie or TV show and lots of distractions. I haven't had that. This is Blouse Black Hill cotton wool. It's the fingering weight yarn. They make a thicker version called Big Cotton Wool. And which is going to be a magnolia when I feel like knitting a magnolia. So yeah, a whole lot of knitting in around for me. Yay! It'll be done. It'll be done. It'll be done. My other piece of knitting, because yes, I still only have the 2 bits of knitting, is my Jenny Flower by Julia Knits in Paris, and these 2 are my skeins. It's 100% silk from Avril, which is a Japanese company. I'm not entirely sure that it's the same company that trades as Habu, but it's the exact same. Yarns. Both Habu and Avril do the stainless, no, not stainless, oh yeah, stainless steel. That's the one, right? I should know. I have 2 tiny cones of it. Still don't know what to use them for. But yeah, let's talk about this, which is getting close to being done. Can't really tell from that view, but here is my whale progress keeper, and I am down here. So last week I was just about ready to separate the body and the sleeve, and you can tell that because this is where it was, this is where it separates, and as you can tell, I've knit on the little border, which is just a rib edge, and now the body is just plain stripes for a bit, and I know it's difficult to tell that it's actually striped. There we go. When I have reached around the double amount on the body as I have now, these eyelet rows will be repeated for a couple of times, and then it's done. So really, I have about the same amount of knitting to do as I've already done this week, so you know, could be done, maybe. My dad's coming tomorrow, so there'll be no knitting time tomorrow. Well, he's leaving again, he's not staying, he's just passing by, you know, as you do when you live an hour and a half away. But yeah, he's coming by tomorrow in the afternoon, might even eat together, who knows. But yeah, and this is the bag. My joggler stripe isn't perfect. As you can see, it gets a little tighter around there. That'll probably even out in the washing, so I'm not too concerned about it. By the way, it'll be in the back. I won't see it. This is what I'll see, which is just a neat front. And no, I won't be wearing this on its own. I'll have a little tank top underneath. A white one, probably, because my only non-coloured ones are white. And I don't have a colour that matches this, so. But I do think this is knit on 3.5mm needles, and I do think that the whole concept of the this top, which is supposed to be have a lot more ease than I have in it. It's also supposed to be split differently. Just going to move up my little whale marker so that I can show you the progress next week. It's supposed to be more oversized in the body. I'll have a lot more positive ease. You know me, I'm not good with positive ease, or a lot of positive ease. So I picked a small size because there is no knitting police. So yeah, hopefully this will be done next week. Mainly because I doubt that I'll sew as much this coming week as I have this week. It's just the mood. I felt like sewing. I felt like finishing my dress. I felt like finishing this because, well, I was already had the thread in the machine, and you know. Now I really want to finish this, like a lot. Like, I think I'll sit down and knit on this as soon as I turn this camera off. Not because I know what I'll cast on next. I've been thinking about stuff, but I don't have any actual plans. I think I might be a bit paralyzed, which is something that happens when you have a lot of options, I guess, to some of us. Is that it? I think that's all there is to talk about. Yeah. Anyway, this is a shorter episode, but that's just how it is when you have the same two projects to talk about. Which is also why I'm eager to get the Jenny Flower done, because I want to cast on something new. Something that isn't just stockinetting around. But a lot of life is stockinetting around. That's just life. Anyway, I hope you have a great week. I hope those of you who are on holiday have great holidays, and that the weather is nice, and I don't know if you can see, but it's not very light here, so my cat, my mannequin, Isn't waving. He probably is now because I moved him. Yeah. I disturbed him so he started waving. But see, it's not even light enough for him to move because for probably the first day in this week, except for when it rained, it's overcast. And it looks like rain. And I filled up all my planters and my grow boxes with water this morning at 6:30 because I was awake, and you can't do it when it's sunny and all that jazz. So it'll probably rain because I did that. Anyway, hope you have a great week and I'll see you next time. Bye.